Hello.
All right, so it has been month or so since you've returned to Harrow's Gate. Got the map up here. And business has been a little slow, but you've got enough from that last job to keep going. Griffin, Dr. Caesar, you got you've been in contact with one of the with that decursor thaumaturge back in Triskelion. You've been exchanging letters. Let's see, what else did I go over people with?
Weather's good over here. Aristocracy is a lie. Love Caesar.
Max is going to suggest to Fabrizio that he not go around using the name Fabrizio because obvious reasons, and that she suggests he instead call himself Sam instead.
It's going to take him a little while to get used to it, but he'll try.
Okay. She's patient. Oh, should we do character introductions first?
Yes, we should.
I'll start us off then. I'm Lady Maxima Josephine Vivian Rinaldi I, or just plain Max. I am a Grey Fox outlaw whose motto is, "Don't worry, you'll remember me." And presently I have no goals because I got 3 of them done last time. And my new ally is formerly Fabrizio, the true heir to the Rinaldi throne, but who's actually just a ranger, and he's hanging out with me.
I'll go next. I'm playing Caesar the Small, a raven elementalist and doctor. His motto is that he has a cure for all ailments, and right now he's just kicking back in Harrow's Gate, doing work.
I guess I can go. I'm playing Kunibald Kemp, engineer warlock badger. His motto is, "You haven't prepared for failure. You haven't prepared for anything at all."
All right. Nefertu?
Neferu, I am playing Neferu Bint Heret, the overconfident hyena warlord, whose motto is, "My destiny is beyond your ken."
And Desmond, you're not actually part of the group yet. I've got a place to put you in fairly early, but go ahead and give your spiel.
All right. I'm Desmond, a gorilla beggar. My personality is calm. My motto is, "Don't make me do this." And my goal is to find meaningful work.
All right. So, in the course of your kicking back in Harrow's Gate, go ahead and give me gossip checks. If you
Sounds good. That's a 1 success.
All right. So
1 success.
So you guys are
right. Sorry.
All right, once you all get 1 successes, sure. Rumor that Dunwasser's scholar who went up into Felon Lands is overdue returning. This goes on for a while, and then there's further rumors that from trappers and traders up in Falon that a chief laid claim to a shipwreck, including the lone survivor.
Whoa, that sounds like a heck of a doozy of a fun thing to go after, if you ask me.
Well, you're not getting paid for it yet.
True, but there's still the lure of shipwreck, of mystical pagan magics, and a grateful scholar who will surely help us if we were to find him.
Her, actually.
Oh, okay.
So a couple days later, let's see. Desmond. You've gotten in some trouble with the law, and an Indica agent has pulled you aside and basically told you that they'll forgive this little indiscretion if you join if you join an expedition that Dunwasser is going to be put together to head up and retrieve their missing scholar. Apparently, the Bizclaveri don't trust those Triskelion scholars and want to know anything you see on that trip.
I'm sorry, can you take a step back real quick? What kind of agent?
These are the
Bizclaveri Secret Service.
Yeah, they're the secret police of the Bizclaveri.
And they're called what
The
again?
Indicator.
Indicators.
Okay. So just from an out of character level, I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
it's a weird. So yeah, there's like a French permeation. It's one of those indicateurs, I think is how you technically say it. I don't know.
I may just bastardize it to indicator.
That's perfectly fine by me. An indicator.
So they're asking me to travel to Triskelion?
No, because Harrow's Gate has such a large population of mercenaries, the indicators strongly believe that the Dunwasser are sending a contract to Harrow's Gate. They believe they know what mercenary company is going to be selected, but you're supposed to adapt as necessary if they are wrong.
I imagine my gorilla here would look just a bit confused. And the college or the trading company?
So the indicators want you to join a mercenary company.
Right, no. Again, backtrack here. The question...
All right.
You said Dunwasser, and I'm asking Dunwasser College or Dunwasser Trading Company?
Dunwasser College. Out of character, I have not heard of Dunwasser Trading Company.
Yeah, they're the major trading organization that also operates out of Triskelion. Dunwasser's like two different operations in Triskelion.
All right.
Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean... Otherwise, what else choice do I have but to be arrested?
All right. Well, that's your first goal. Come back with information on the trip. So you are directed to a mercenary company under the employ of Duke. I don't think we ever said his name.
Under the Duke. Because there is only one Duke.
Well, this
Well,
not
at least here.
I may have given the actual Duke a promotion to Archduke. I wanted somebody just below that level.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's the Archduke. He can give himself whatever new title he wants.
Right. As
Could
long as
even
it's
be
not
Duke.
king.
Matter of fact, I might just give this guy the title of Earl.
But wouldn't an Earl be below a Duke?
Yes.
Okay.
Because according to the book, the ruler of this Calabria land is a duke.
Yeah, in theory, all of Calabria is ruled by the Rinaldi family, but in practice, each kingdom is technically ruled by a duke. But they're kings in their own right, essentially.
Well, not kingdom, dukedom.
Exactly.
States' rights.
It's
All
more
right.
just that, yeah, the Rinaldi can't actually press any of their claims and any of that. So
Why don't they just call the Rinaldi emperors? I mean, you could keep the kingdom's title, which everyone think of. Boy.
Anyway, so presumably a gorilla shows up looking to be hired.
What does he show us? His references, or well, presumably he has something to show for himself, show that he would fit. But he
Are you going to show off your knife skills?
Of course not.
All
I'll say, hey, look over there, and then I will utterly disappear.
Into the empty room, we say, "You're hired." I guess more to the point, has our company in particular been hired for this task already?
No, but that afternoon, actually, Dr. Caesar gets a letter.
Ooh, another letter. Let's see how my friend is doing.
So, the letter recounts the rumors you've heard about the Dunwasser scholar and the shipwreck. It mentions that Lyrastagones is not inclined to bend Rinaldi resources to the task as he's preparing to make a journey east. And so he is begging on your connection. And the college has arranged for funding for 12 warriors at 2 dinar a day. Our cartographers expect the journey to take approximately 3 weeks out and back, which comes to an account of about 500 dinar for the expedition. To be retrievable from the accounts of Dunwasser upon the return of one journeywoman Miranda de Vaucier, raccoon from Felon lands. And there's some more contracty bits, but
Probably like a banknote or letter recommendation or something to prove, like, yeah, I can pay this for you once I get the money later.
yeah, and it's signed basically the main accounts for Dunwasser College.
Right.
Apparently, this Miranda had friends back home.
All right. Well, this is definitely something to bring up to the group, and I think if we cut a few corners, we can get a little extra money out of it.
And yeah, you're being funded for 12 warriors. He may have overestimated your group a little bit. Might have.
Clearly, we'll need twice as many. So I guess just to clarify again, this was to get a boat to go out there to rescue someone who's shipwrecked?
No, overland trip.
Overland trip. Okay.
sounds like there's a missing scholar that Dunwasser Academy wants us to pick up, and she has knowledge of a shipwreck, if I'm understanding it. I'm sorry.
She was on the ship.
Okay.
It's a land ship.
Yeah, a Finland chief laid claim to a shipwreck, including the lone survivor.
Okay. So she's likely a slave somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be fun. Okay.
But we do actually know where she might be? Question mark.
Yeah. The noble the Philan chief who laid claim is a Duke Gilroy, or a Dur Gilroy. Go ahead and give me some research of Philan related stuff. What is that?
Oh, I have no mind academics probably. I have no idea. Could not help you there.
Let's see. Mind academics would at least give me 3d8, I'm pretty sure. Or, well, d6 and 2d8.
All right.
And this would be to know, say, like a noble or something. I don't think admin would really help with that, and that's about all I can think with.
Yeah, and he's from a different nation and not the top ruler. You might need multiple successes to know like where exactly he is.
Right.
Oh.
Anyone want to like put their heads together with me and go, "Hey, I know this little factoid."
No, sorry, not smart enough.
Sure, I can roll. What is it?
Mind and
I can
academics.
assist.
Yes, indeed.
Sam will
also
attempt to
in
assist.
Sorry.
the Bisclaveret capital right now.
I done floated up. Unless you're saying I get a bonus die for the
Sam racks her
Resources
brain and can't
reputation.
come up with anything.
You can also blow your personality on the roll if you really want to succeed.
eh.
That is 2 successes already. If that's
All
not
right.
enough and I need a
Ah.
3, maybe I'll burn personality. But let's see what I get, I guess.
Well, as a matter of fact, you've actually heard of this guy. Dirk Gilroy. Yeah, you between your earlier I keep wanting to say carousing, gossiping checks. Yeah, this guy, you either love him or hate him. There's no between, which means he gets talked about a lot. But he has a the land he's chief over is a bit outside Cathar Marius, which is as close as the Phalan come to a capital.
Oof,
He's
it's going to be rough.
Yeah, he's actually got like a farm out there.
Right.
Oh,
his own
yes.
personal
There's going to be a
estate
lot of
area.
those.
Hey guys, what's that over there? Corn. And that over there, more corn.
And a
Well,
shipwreck.
this is like rural Ireland, essentially.
Yep, nothing but sheep and farms out there. So, well, we know where we're going. He's gonna have quite the personality. And I suppose all this money is saying we ought to show up on his doorstep with a whole bunch of foot soldiers.
Well, it is the Phalan lands.
They do respect strength.
And they may not necessarily give him over willingly.
Her.
Her.
Her, right. So it comes down to, are we going to actually hire a whole bunch of warriors? Or do we want to try a different tact? I don't necessarily see a problem with it, it just seems gauche, I suppose.
Does seem a little tacky for our mercenary group to hire. But you're right, it may be prudent.
Well, speaking of having to hire mercenaries, what were we paid for our last job since I don't remember getting paid from it?
Let's see. Call it. Yeah, we're gonna say you've burned through most of it by this point, but you've still got like 5 or so silver apiece after living expenses. for this long.
Oof. Let's hope we can find some. I think in Phelan, yeah, there's like roaming bands of warriors and toughs. Maybe we can pick up some salvage along the way. But we'll see.
Just trying
In
to find out
either
where I put my
case-
money down.
Speaking of money, something you might have heard is that the Phelan don't really have currency.
Ooh. What do
Right,
they
they'll
use?
take.
Just straight barter?
Yep,
Yep.
they'll take out of character. They'll take silver coins, and since they don't really have any use for them, they'll like weave them into their armor, make it look like ringmail.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I would think that at least in this part of Bisclaveret, we know rumor wise that they're not very like they're considered savages and not enlightened and don't follow Salome. And would
We've
that
got
be a fair
nothing to do with
assessment?
those types.
Right, they're barbarians. You know, they would be seen as barbarians.
And we're progressive.
So it might make sense if we were to trade with them if we had something that they might want. So my
I suppose we
thought
don't
is
know what they want until we get there is the main problem.
true, but if I had to guess, I would think maybe weapons and steel. Steel in particular.
So this is the time where the bird will balance the budget and kind of go, so how much budget do I have to split between these warriors, giving us enough food to travel all the way there and back, and any other expenses, and also possibly prepare a bribe and or gift, and then also have extra money left over.
You've also got access to moneylenders. You've got a promissory note for a good 500.
Right,
Make
exactly.
sure-
That's the book I'm balancing against here.
So the 500 is balanced for 12 warriors at 2 dinar a day. 1 dinar a day is living expenses. 2 is experienced craftsman profit.
You said 2 a day?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just going to make that a note for the time being. Let's see.
Go if someone has mathematics.
Ooh.
I
Pretty
can't
sure I do.
read.
Wait, no, I don't. I think our engineer does, though.
Yes, I do.
Something like 20 a day.
I could make you roll, but basically, as far as that calculation went, the Dunwasser actually stiffed you to the tune of 4 denarii, just for the sake of round numbers.
Little out-of-pocket expense. Alright.
All right.
So let's see. So I know we have Neferu here, and he has a small company himself. How many does he have already?
4 counting the Pharaoh.
So we could perhaps cut this by a third and use that for, say, gifts, bribes, and extra profit.
Well, Max is feeling tricksy here. She's going to think, okay, if we're going to go into the Phelan lands, maybe you can bring some crossbows. They might enjoy those.
Days times
The other thing about crossbows is that they're cheap.
2.
So you are in the capital of Bisclaveret lands and buying how many crossbows?
Well, we are a mercenary company amidst mercenary people. it's like I'd imagine there's probably a lot of support for mercenary companies and such. But I'm just looking over the price of a crossbow. I don't know if that means you can get 2 for 3 denarii, or if it's 2/3 of a single denarii for a crossbow.
2/3.
2/3. Okay. So let's do some math.
So we have 164 to play with from there. And
Well,
I'll let
these are
you
just
figure out the gifts, of course.
Well, these are just Max's ideas. I mean, she's kind of spitballing ideas to herself too, because she
Right.
also wants to bring stuff. But
All things considered, we do need to get the money and hire the warriors. If we're okay with cutting it down to 8, then we can see what we can do with the 164 after we get the warriors to pay for them in the first place.
I'm leaving this open for you guys to plan right now.
Indeed, indeed.
yeah,
You've also have you include that gorilla that you've recently attempted to join you?
Technically, I guess he could get paid as one of those warriors, so we need to find 7 more.
Ooh.
And if he, quote, proves himself and wants to stick around, then, that's... Hey, now we know how well he's done. So we do still need to find 7 more people. Who wants to go and look for those people and actually get them on our payroll? Or potential payroll.
well, I could certainly assist in that regard.
That would be gossip, right? I can assist in that
Yep.
as well.
So you 2
Alright.
candidates are the best
I
ones to go out to do it.
Who does the best skill?
So
I had to
if we
buy gossip. Do you have better gossip than me, Max?
Oh, I can actually help you guys with gossip a little bit too.
All right, I'm
It does
looking
look like
through
Max has the
the.
best gossip roll. I'm wrong about that.
Alright, so to assist it would be what? Mine or Will and gossip?
To assist, you would just do a mind and gossip roll, and any successes would give me a D8 or a D12 if you have the gift of team player.
Hey, congratulations! Take a D8 from Caesar.
That would be 3 whole successes.
Fair enough.
Unless the...
Is that with the extra
I was-
assist?
Oh, shoot. Okay, so there's like 3 additional assist rolls there. Okay.
Yes.
Let's roll 3d8, see how many more we get.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that would be, what, 6 successes. Wow. So, yeah, not only does Max know who to find and where to find them, she also manages to get some ridiculously good recruits at a very low cost. Well, I suppose it is a buyer's market since this place is flooded with mercenaries who are looking for work.
Yeah, the kind of jackpot you hit was, those chain shirts you picked up recently?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are just heading out to go look when you see their matching sets coming down the street. Those 8 survivors, they're actually heading towards sawmills to look for just placeholder work.
Yeah,
When,
labor jobs.
When you come out and mention you're looking, and they're looking for jobs, they are, as you know, fairly good warriors and are looking for 2 denarii a day.
Well, Max will say, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Well, so you looking for work? Maybe we're thinking about maybe going to some Phelan lands and maybe even cracking some pagan skulls if you catch my drift. Sorry about the whole trying to kill you thing earlier. You understand, right? It was just a job."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever happened to that donkey?
I don't know who you're talking about. But you mean well, let's just say it's violent end. It was very sad and very unfortunate. I was very sorry to bury him, but
Oh, what a tragedy! We should hit the tavern and drink to him. I've never seen a warrior that matched him.
I doubt we'll ever see one ever since. But yes. But yes, I will bring the. How many of them? You said 7?
There were 8 that survived the last
8.
game. Yeah, 6 that or 3 that you had to heal, 3 that were trying to carry them off that you captured, and then 2 that actually ran away.
Okay, so I'll come back to Griffin or to Dr. Cesar's office and be like, "Guess who I found?"
Who else was looking?
The whole rest of us, it seems.
Yeah, we were all kind of like
everyone kind of like grouped together. We'd reconvene like a moment later and go, "Oh, these fine gentlemen. I remember all
because
of you."
I'm going to say at least one of you actually got to the sawmills and saw another good old friend of yours, so to speak.
Ruh-roh.
Who?
Because let's see. You see a certain tiger making a delivery to the sawmills. In chains.
Oh ho, that's our slaver friend.
Oh, I thought we let him go.
Yeah, I thought we did too.
this.
He's not the one in chains.
Oh, I thought your wording implied he was the one in chains. That would have been confusing. But with chains, yes. Well, it seems you're running a profitable business in this area these days.
Max isn't going to interact with him. She'll just keep Sam and be like, "Okay, Sam, let's go find something to eat."
And okay, who was it who was engaging with Semelin?
I suppose Caesar said something, yeah.
All right, so he points out, he comments that the sawmills are always looking for extra bodies, but that's probably going to be the last shipment of the season.
So I suppose you and your boys are looking for even more work, aren't you?
Well, depends on the work. I may,
Well, it would appear our primary occupation is still search and rescue. So if you wouldn't mind coming up to maybe help us rescue another, maybe there could be some.
What kind of rescue work?
Something of a intellect like myself is being held hostage by Phelan Noble.
Ah, the Phelan. And the atavist grins.
Oh, you have experience, do you?
You might call it my old stomping grounds.
Perhaps you've heard of, what was the name again?
Yeah, different book. Dur Gilroy. Stubborn middle-aged wolf who won't give up a prize lightly.
Ah, so I suppose appealing to his better nature and offering a nice little bribe wouldn't have ever quite worked, would it?
Oh, well, it depends.
Everyone.
Everything is pride for him.
So if you were to go do this, what would you say would be his weak point for perhaps indulging us in an exchange?
Well, now
It
we're
is
getting
his
into
pride.
consulting services.
Well, there's always a little pay to be had in that, if you're willing to help. We can discuss it maybe over a drink. I think I heard everyone
Indeed,
running over into
I'd
that
love to
tavern
see,
over there.
I'm already blanking on your old character's name again?
Harmon?
Harmon.
Yeah, I'd love to see that Harmon again. It's rare
Caesar
I get
just
to
like
see
gives that like sort of like wince and sideways glance of oh right.
It's rare I see a warrior of his caliber able to match me blow for blow.
I'm afraid he's grinding under the millstone these days.
What a shame.
Slightly more literally than we all anticipated.
Um, but so you guys, you take him out for a drink. He is willing to come along, but he's going to want as something of a both warrior and mission specialist, so to speak. He'd want 3 denarii a day.
Alright. Let me go ahead and calculate that out.
Don't forget the rest of us got to get paid out of that too.
So let's see. If we had all the chainmails, our gorilla, and our tiger is 441, leaving us with something like 58 denarii for basically the rest of us.
And that's assuming you get all the chainmail warriors.
Yes, this is assuming if we had all of them. The original was for 12 individuals, and we've narrowed it down to 10 now, at a maximum.
So we're not
Oh.
being paid less than the help, huh?
I suppose that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Well, that's your flat rate. That doesn't include other things along the way.
I suppose that is the question. The payment in particular for us isn't a part of this advance to buy the services we need, right?
This is not an advance. This is what you're going to be paid when you come back, and then you're borrowing against that.
Ah, okay. So everything we don't pay others for this is what we keep and split later. And
That is
it's
correct.
between
I hate to
One.
have to shoot us in the foot here, but
3, 4.
interest rates?
We could also perhaps try to persuade the gorilla on a more permanent basis if he's willing to accept a massive cut to split with the rest of us. Currently, he's being paid 42 for this as a normal warrior. And we would be being paid 14 for the entirety of the trip.
How long was the trip?
3 weeks, apparently.
I would be willing to get paid the same as skilled labor.
That is your current pay rate, I think. Which would be 2 denarii a day.
Yep.
Which puts you at 42, which is 4 times the amount as the rest of us. We could also just take only 4 of the chainmail, and then each of us gets paid 42, and then we have 58 left over still.
I think 12 should have been the total amount of people go, not just the total plus us.
I presume you will probably be splitting your share of the pay with your mercenaries.
Actually, they're getting their own share of the pay, aren't they? They should be.
Caesar just sort of like raises a little eyebrow and is like, I'll have to get another sheet of parchment for all this math.
Wait, what was the rate that you got paid in?
I got paid in 1/4 of what's left.
No. I mean, I assume you are the process by which all the money is coming through, right?
Very much so.
Right. So I'm asking, how much money did you get
500.
for
Uh,
how many people?
How much is coming off the top?
And they had a specific number of people they wanted on this job?
Indeed.
12.
They ran the math for 12.
Right, 12 people for 3 weeks. And if everyone's getting paid the same, what would the rate be versus the quality of work that they seem to be insinuating is required?
The letter says 1 dozen warriors at 2 dinar a day.
Right, so 12 people at 2 dinar a day. So 24 a day. Right, so that's not enough.
Yes, he did mention that we were being shorted by a couple of
196 dinar.
in their math. Did I know that much?
3 weeks for
Oh,
skilled
3
labor. That's what you guys keep saying. You guys said 3 weeks. That's what I'm working on. It's 24 people getting paid 2 dinar a day for 3 weeks.
12.
104.
12 people.
Oh, that's a different number then. I don't know why I got 24. I'm sorry. I don't
They
have
were
the
being
gift of
shorted by
math.
4.
I don't have the math gift. That's why Doctor here is in charge.
Yeah, they shorted us by 4 dinar for 12 people, 2 a day for 3 weeks.
That doesn't even include expenses.
Nope.
Let's see. Are we really accounting for each of Defear's mercenaries as someone we're also paying?
How
Well,
many?
technically, we should also be paying Sam, because he's a warrior, or he would be a warrior in this group.
Well,
Technically,
I got
we'd be
Sam's
paying
back. Don't worry
us.
about him.
Yeah, ultimately, the easiest way to divide it up would be you and your accomplices are a package.
Well, I mean, how many did you bring with you this session?
Well, I rolled for 2 last time. I could probably get more if I had assists on my gossip, but I thought we were just going to keep these 2 for this little adventure. I don't know. It's up to the GM.
We can keep last week's roll since you never used them last week or last
Okay.
time.
Whatever you like. But yeah, so that's 3 people right there. So I guess we don't need some of the people we hired. Or you hired.
The current arrangement looks something like this. We pay ourselves at an equivalent rate for 210, which accounts for a good section of the gold. We hire the Tiger for his additional help in consulting. And then we hire 5 more people for 168. We have 17 left over. The cost per person is something like 42. So if anyone has like another 42 minus 17 lying around.
I'm literally a beggar.
Yeah, another 25 denarii, we could use that to hire 1 more person and have 6 extra mercenaries along with us.
Well, these guys are pretty strong, so I think a squad of 5 would be sufficient. I hope. I mean, these aren't like regular mooks. These were toughened veterans.
I do have 7 denarii and 5 silver.
Well, so yeah, Sam is gonna use what little
Actually-
cash she has on hand to buy some crossbows and paper, so she can bring that with to trade potentially.
Actually, does Sam have the gift of wealth?
Max does.
Oh yeah, Max, I mean. That's always an option to tap if you just wanted even more warriors.
That I think is overkill.
It could very well be.
keep in mind, they don't have metal, really. Well, they do, but yeah.
Yeah,
Also
between your
of
gift
note,
of
we
wealth
do
and
have
Arcloid's
the,
between your gift of wealth and Arcloid's nobility, you're basically getting gratis letters of credit. So people are willing to take Dunwasser's money as given, with
Right.
even just the letters worth.
Perfect. What about Harmon's armor? Who actually took custody of that?
Max did, and it's actually in her storage in Triskelion.
I think we have to go through there anyway on this journey, don't we?
Phelan is the
No.
opposite direction.
I thought we
That's
were
not-
like on one edge of the map entirely.
No.
North versus south.
Harrogate is
Yeah,
like the
Phelan is
middle
to-
between the coast and Triskelion.
Yeah, the Phelan lands are, or however you pronounce them, are to the north. Triskellion's to the south. And something like that would probably take a little while to find a buyer for anyway.
Well, I meant putting it to use.
Yeah, it's literally the most expensive item anywhere.
Right, and it's also giant sized.
Yep.
So it wouldn't fit.
I hear tell of this brawler over in Zhangao. He
Well.
might be able to use it.
Dirk Gilroy is pretty big.
Well, something like that. Yeah,
Big
we'll
Bill
have to.
Brasky.
Normally it runs for 3,600, but it's larger size, so I think it's twice as heavy, which means it's twice as expensive. And yeah, finding a buyer for something like that would be kind of hard. But yeah, that's something we could certainly do in the future.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Still worth 720, even used.
yeah.
Used, slightly crushed.
Slightly bloody, yeah.
But see, that's the beauty of the 20% rule, is that material can then be used from base to repair it and craft a new one.
That's true. We could theoretically break it down and remake it into a regular sized version, but that would take a pretty skilled armor smith to do.
So then, barring shenanigans, the plan set forth is probably the one we're going to be able to go with.
Yeah.
Is there anything we want for this journey that we could spend 17 denarii on?
Strippers.
Well, unless we want to compensate Max for the planned gifts. I can't.
Oh, nah. That's for her personal stuff, where it's like, how can I make a couple extra some cash on this? So yeah, keep the funds in the kitty in the event that I think there's probably some in somewhere or something like that who would take it.
All right, so you're going for 5 mercenaries?
Yep, and it looks like it's those chainmail ones. And Nefiro will have to pay his own group out of his own pocket here.
Ouch.
But they are skilled warriors, and they are separate people from, my character technically. Even though they are a package deal.
Well, then you can take your choice to leave all of them behind if you want.
I do like this is the second time Griff has had to make this argument.
Yeah.
I pulled the same thing with necromancy. Pay all my guys.
Hey, necromancers, you can claim that the necromancers, that's what you're paying him for.
No, see, I had them all dressed up in, disguises and shit, so they were just silent people.
Yeah, I deserve 9 out of 12 shares.
Look, I gotta pay my crew. I was a mercenary group where all of my mercenaries were just zombies in costumes.
Yeah.
That is kind of clever if you think about it.
Worked for me.
right.
But is it assumed that I could that I could find places to sell me crossbows? I want to buy 6 crossbows and 10 sheets of paper. Since they're not rare, would that be assumed that I could do that at the listed price, not have to worry about haggling?
Sure.
Planning
So
to
you
arm the
can haggle
mercenaries.
anyway.
What's that?
Planning to
You
arm
can
the
choose to
mercenaries.
haggle.
No, I'm just I'm buying 6 crossbows and 10 sheets of paper for things that I could trade or sell along the way to get some extra cash.
I probably should make it be haggle, but I'm not going to bother because
Right. If
we're
as
just
a side note, this is the capital city, so I'd imagine there's competition here, and there's probably people who want to sell. So it's not like a village somewhere who would try to haggle you up or things like that. That's my
that
justification.
just means it's a group check by all the merchants you go to.
Is this a out of your own funds that you're doing?
Yes, this is out of my own pocket.
All right, so I still got to figure out what I'm doing the last 17 here. Maybe just buy extra food in case people need to heal or something. I don't know.
Yeah, buying travel rations is probably a good idea.
Well, presumably, half of our pay is for that expense alone.
Oh,
And the 17 is just basically on top at this point.
So you get Sonellan warns that there are no inns or way stops in Phelan lands. You're not going to be able to buy food on the way.
maybe buying a couple tents would be a good idea too.
Right, I was just thinking that myself. We have the food accounted for at the very least, and people can scavenge, or at least I can. I
Right.
don't know about you land-bound mammals.
But yeah, buying some several tents and some some extra travel rations may not be a bad idea.
A 2-man tent is 2 denarii.
Pavilion.
So if we bought 5 tents, that cover most of us.
Could just get a pavilion, covers all with one.
How much does a pavilion cost?
Oh yeah, where's the pavilion?
48,
12.
I think?
Hey.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah, way off. So, tell you what, I'll go ahead and write down pavilion.
It's just kind of heavy, that's the problem.
Yeah, and we'll put that in the mercenary group's assets.
All right. So how heavy is a pavilion? Who's carrying it?
Like 6 stone,
It is.
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Why do I remember that?
See, I was writing all this stuff down yesterday, and I forgot.
I suppose this is the point where in the future maybe one consider a beast of burden and a cart.
Definitely.
Just a cart.
But for now, what we could do is have it on rotation. So, it's your turn to carry it for several hours, and then it goes to the next person and the next person.
Right,
Or the
we can
next
just
couple
assign
people.
that to our hire-ons if we really want to.
Or just everybody, even. You could, but yeah, hire
You
on
look at
part
like
of it is carrying.
the twinky little bird, it's like, yeah, he'll carry the 6-stone thing for you, on top of the chainmail he's wearing and everything else.
It'll probably take a couple people to carry it, but yeah. I mean, that's not unheard of, so.
Indeed. So
We're going
minus
to ignore the whole
12.
flying in chainmail thing.
It'd be flapping your wings really fast. You're more of a hummingbird than a sparrow at that point.
At least I'm not technically burdened if I drop everything else. This is why I need to get that extra D6 body. I'm working up to it. I work out.
Well, hey, I have to learn how to read or at least get some knowledge of academics at some point. But,
So, in case this wasn't mentioned, retrieving the scholar is a goal.
okay, so let's set that
Yeah.
up then.
And just one more time for note-taking, the scholar's name is...
Miranda Devossier, journeywoman.
Got it. Retrieve the
And-
divorced woman.
And do we care about
Oh.
anything else from the shipwreck that he may have taken, the materials? Or is that just ancillary?
Ancillary.
There we go then. Cool. So
Their
just
scholar
retrieve-
basically got a ride on a ship that didn't make it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the goal to retrieve Miranda de Valsier from the Phelan lands. And then there is something else I want to bring up to Sam before we go.
Marriage? Say it's marriage.
No, not marriage.
Not
But
yet.
basically, I want to find
Oh,
somewhere
no.
that's quiet and safe and away from prying eyes and ears. And basically admit to him, you know, I'm of common birth, but I wanted to become a noble. And then suddenly you fell on my lap, and now it's like, oh shoot, this is bigger than me now. So just so you're aware, I eventually want to become a Rinaldi noble, but that's not worth trying to use trickery and whatever to get by manipulating you. Believe it or not, I'm actually concerned about your welfare. And if you want, I'll even go to the cathedral and swear loyalty that I will not betray or give you up. But she wants to make, essentially, in gaming terms, she wants to make her intentions known and be honest with him.
He is. This is all very sudden. He is still coming to terms with not being a nobleman's son himself, although one not directly in the line of succession before.
Right.
So this is all a lot for him to take in as well.
Right.
And he's just going to try and take things as they come for now.
Okay. But she wants to implore him that she doesn't. It was about her petty greed before, but now it's serious. Where it's like, yeah, this is nothing less than divine intervention. So she's not going to betray the Salim, like what's her face's wishes and do right in the world by him.
All right.
The name
He
you're looking for, Ben.
awkwardly accepts this.
And she'll just like give him a good-natured rustle on the head.
All right.
I got your back, Sam. Don't worry. And she will also give him her chainmail that she got to wear for protection, as well as one of her muskets.
All right.
So he has those. The second musket, though, is still in storage.
So he is loading one of your weapons. Got it.
Well, he has one of his own to fire, if need be.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I got. I just wanted to make it. Oh, and the only other thing is, since Max does want to have a long-term goal, and this is something over many sessions, but she does want to become nobility, would it be okay to take the goal, acquire a genuine letter of recommendation?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Which a letter of recommendation essentially is a title of nobility. But anyway, yeah. That's... yeah.
All right. Anything else before we take off?
Picked up the 10, got everyone, quote, paid for later, or at least accounted for. Everyone has their, food and such for the journey. We know how we're going to split it up, and we know where we're going, and hopefully we won't all die in the process.
Did we get paid
So
before we
how
left?
much food are you getting?
I believe if we split it in half, as you were saying, it would pay for the food for the journey.
All right. And the
Basically, 21 denarii of food each.
The
Which-
5 soldiers are getting their food to carry as well.
Which I guess I should note, every day you manage to successfully forage for food is an extra denarii you save.
Yeah.
Very fair point.
Overland movement rules were in the spot rules, I believe, under hiking and such.
Because that's actually going to be a thing for the next session or two.
Quite indeed.
Oh. All right.
Page 148, I think.
Oh, I was only 3 away.
It says hiking.
Alright.
Yep, that's the one.
Alright.
So it says here, healthy characters, one that are not sick, hurt, or injured, can push themselves to hike more than 3 hours. Roll body and hiking versus 2d4 for the 4th hour, 2d6 for the 5th hour, etc. to 2d12.
So when buying food, are you planning to be pushing yourself?
What does the 21-day estimate give us for that?
That's just
How far would we have to travel if we did it in 21 days?
Well, characters can stroll 1 league an hour, so you can hike for 8 hours and cross 36 kilometers.
and that's the estimate the bean counters used.
Right. So if we made it all on that time frame, how fast would we have to move? How many hours a day?